Good morning, friends. Happy Monday. We are back again. I am feeling significantly better than I was last week. I'm still not 100%, but that's okay. I'm really glad I rested last week, and what a productive week I had. OMG. And I will talk more about the ribbling sweater in a little while. I'm dressed for yoga right now. I'm going to attempt yoga, but I'm just going to take it really, really chill and not try and push myself, and just enjoy some body-mind connection. And then when I get home, I'm going to have a shower and get dressed, and we'll have the ribbling sweater on then, because I did remove some length and re-add the rib. That was a real effort in willpower, because I was about done by that point. Like, I don't want to knit rib for a while, shall we say. Yesterday I took almost the entire day off knitting. I did do a little bit of knitting in the morning, but it was a completely different gauge, a completely different type of knitting, and I was very slow and gentle, and my hands didn't hurt. And then I didn't knit again until very late in the evening, when we watched the American Grand Prix, and then I just did a little bit of gentle stockinette on my stripy ivy tee, which we will also talk about in this vlog, because I think I'm ready to make some decisions. But I also want to cast on a new project in this video. I have another new design that has actually been in the works for a long time. Since the beginning of the year, the idea has anyway, and the collaboration idea, and I swatched it yesterday. Sorry, it's just really started raining and it's distracting me. I swatched it yesterday. I have done preliminary charts, and I've actually I've already written the pattern, like the draft of it, but there's barely any work in there, because it's very similar to some other patterns that I have. I just have to go in and change the gauge and stitch counts and some of the wording, but other than that, it's pretty transferable. I need to finish writing up the ribbling sweater as well, because I'm very keen to get that off to the grader this week, and then it will be edited by somebody different, and then I would really like to have it in test soon. But again, we'll talk more about the ribbling later on, because I've got plans. But yes, this idea, I mentioned it right at the beginning of Vlogmas in July, because it was my intention to work on it then, but it just did not spark joy for me at all at the time, because it's very wintry. It's not Christmassy, but it is wintry. I am working with the wonderful Lay Family Yarns. Lovely Kelly, who I have worked with in a number of ways before. She's tested for me. She provides kits for the Maxine hot water bottle, the only person to provide official kits including the pattern. She licenses the pattern from me, and then she prints it out. So if you buy a kit from Kelly, you get the yarn, the pattern, everything. And Kelly also does, she also does this thing where she has people come and dye a special colourway. She's invited me to do that a few times, and it's either not worked out, or I've kind of been a little bit too anxious to do it. But I said to her this year, I really want to work with you in some kind of way. How would you feel about dyeing me a custom colourway for a specific design that we will do together, which is so exciting. And that's what we've done. So earlier on this year, she sent me out a few samples. I gave her a brief of what I was kind of thinking of, and she sent me some samples. And the yarn she's dyed up for me, it's so beautiful. So the original idea is a winter themed hot water bottle cover. I did an autumn themed hot water bottle cover last year, and it was kind of like a choose your own adventure. I did like my version, which was based around pumpkin spice lattes. But then within the pattern, you also have loads of different motifs. You also have a blank chart for drawing up your own motifs. So yeah, it's just like a really fun hot water bottle cover. And my plan was to do a winter version of that. But I also wanted it to be different, because I would effectively just be releasing the same pattern again, but with different charts, and that didn't sit right for me. So the plan was a fingering weight Christmas motif themed hot water bottle cover, but it just wasn't connecting for me. I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to work on it. I started mucking about with some charts, and it all just felt a bit I don't know, it just felt a bit obvious. And I kind of thought, like, do you know what? If you want to do something like that, you can do that already with the pumpkin spice hot water bottle cover. And, you know, just find it's not difficult to find colourwork motifs online now and like draw them up in stitch fiddle and stuff. So I decided that I still want to do a winter themed hot water bottle cover in fingering weight so that it's very different to my other ones, but I wanted to keep it as like one plain simple thing. So I bought up Stitch Fiddle and I just started to just play about really. I had a Pinterest board of loads of different like Nordic-y, Scandinavian type colour work is very much where I wanted to go, and it's also why we've gone for the colour that we've got here. I wanted it to be festive and wintry but not necessarily Christmassy. So first of all I'm going to show you the yarn. Here she is. Here is my main colour. It is this stunning icy but warm blue. She's a tonal, but she's not got any variegation or speckles or anything because we knew it was going to be colour work. Honestly, I am not a blue person in general. I don't wear blue in my wardrobe, but this particular type of blue is the only blue I like. And I do occasionally wear this kind of blue like in the summer, but oh, just periwinkle. Well, to be fair, it's not, it would be a bit slightly more saturated, I think, if it was periwinkle, but you get the idea. And then I also have undyed, and this is her sock yarn, which is exciting because if I have any left over, I will knit it into socks. But this is what we're going for. And here is my swatch. Now, this swatch is not perfect, but it was a very good job that I did it because but it's a very good job that I did it. One, because my predicted colourwork gauge, I was way off. And two, it just doesn't quite work out. So I've made some changes to my chart, but this is the vibe we are going for. We're basically going for this kind of snowflakey, winter flower vibe with this really cute scalloped border. Now the problem with this version is that you just don't get enough definition. I'm learning because I've never written for fingering weight colour work before. I'm learning that when you just have one single stitch, it gets a little lost. Things need to be thicker. I think if this was DK, it would be fine, but I really, really want to go with fingering weight because I just wanted to be able to have something a little bit more refined, a little bit more intricate, a little bit more traditional, and I just absolutely love it. Now, I wouldn't normally be using superwash merino for colour work, but I think in this case, in a hot water bottle, it's absolutely fine. Like I don't know if I would use it for a garment, people do, but a fingering weight I probably would use something woolly. And I think for my mini version, this is going to be the regular size version, and I'm hoping I can make the charts work for the mini version. I might have to edit them a little bit, but I'll probably do the mini version in a woolly yarn as well, just so we can see how it works for both of them. And I've got some beautiful yarn from the woolly thistle actually, which would be perfect for this. So I might use that. But I also kind of want to do a red one. I'm sure a tester will do a red one. But there you go. Here's the kind of idea. Here's the development stage. To make this swatch, I knit it in the round and on magic loop, which is why there's a little bit of like ickiness in the middle here. And then I just cut it, I steeked it. I did a couple of extra stitches at each end and just, you know, this is just a swatch. This is gonna look lovely, like on my swatchy board in my office. But I'm also like, what a cute headband. I'm imagining a headband version. It would be so quick and easy to do. And I love a headband because, like, especially when my hair's curly, it's gone a little bit curly because I went out in the rain. When I have like a top knot, I just want a head, like I don't like full hats. I rarely wear them, but how lovely. And like I've already got the perfect sizing. How lovely is that? And I could do the, I could do the inside of it in like boucle or alpaca, something fluffy. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a headband to go along with this. So lovely. Anyway, I am getting very rambly. How long have we been talking? 10 minutes. Okay, not too bad. I've got just over half an hour before I need to leave for yoga. I did my food shop yesterday. Penny This has happened a few times before. I think because quite often I have a bath on a Sunday and I like blow dry my hair and I'll like, oh, I'm feeling all nice and clean and fresh. And Penny decided she wanted to get dressed up in an outfit, and we basically have what we call Fabulous Girls Day. Where we basically just get dressed up in a nice outfit and go and do the food shop and go to Starbucks. So funny, but she loves it. And it's just like her one-on-one, me and her time. And it's always a bad idea taking her to the food shop because I just get roped into buying so many things I wouldn't normally. So we don't do it that often. But it is really, really fun. So we had Fabulous Girls Day yesterday, did the food shop, so I didn't have to do it today because overall like, yoga and food shop on a Monday takes up most of my day. And I really just want to get going on this hot water bottle. I want to make sure that my grading works. It was harder than I thought it would be, grading fingering weight. And I'm a little concerned about like the little bottom section of the hot water bottle cover where you increase, because looking at the numbers I've got, it doesn't feel right. I've kind of got this weird instinct that this isn't quite right, but I'm hoping I'm wrong on that. So I just want to get that going, and then I can just get myself into some lovely, repetitive, relaxing colour work. I'm really in the mood for some colour work, but overall this week I am going to be hopefully knitting a lot less. I should have counted my knitting hours last week because it was insane, but in general less knitting this week, just to help my hands recover a little bit. I went to start my puzzle yesterday. That was my reward to myself for finishing my jumper, starting a puzzle, but I can't find the puzzle that I wanted to do. Now my mum's got an autumn puzzle and we were going to swap, but I don't know if she's finished it yet. Maybe I should text her because I'm going to get my nails done tomorrow and I could pick up the puzzle whilst I'm there. Or I could just buy a new puzzle. Either way, I'm hoping there's puzzles this week. I've got so many Christmas ones. I nearly did a Christmas one, but I was like, no, save it. Ultimate, like, prolonged, like, gratification, or a wait until it's December to do your Christmas puzzle. But yes, gentle knitting this week. A little bit more life probably in this video because I'm like out and about and doing stuff. On Friday, the kids break up from school on Thursday, so Thursday is their last day before half term, and on Friday we are going to go to a pumpkin patch with some friends. It's going to be one where there's like loads of like kids activities and stuff. We just need to decide which one we want to go to, but that's exciting as well. So hopefully we'll be finishing this vlog off with a trip to the pumpkin patch. But thank you yet again for joining me for another week. I hope you had a lovely weekend. I hope you're feeling well and healthy, and let's crack on with the day. Are we sick of that yet? It just feels so natural to say that now. Both of my hot water bottle patterns start with Judy's Magic Cast On. There is also an option in the pattern to not use a Judy's Magic Cast On, because I know some people struggle with it, but it's one of those knitting techniques that I think a lot of people are intimidated by. It seems scarily complicated or difficult, but in actual fact, it's really not. It's very, very simple. It's no more difficult than any other cast on, I don't think. Okay, so maybe that's not true. If you're a beginner, you're probably going to be like, what the F? But if you are, deciding I'm going to knit a colour work hot water bottle cover, and you've got the skills to do that, then you've got the skills to do a Judy's Magic Cast On. And I find it really, really satisfying, and it just gives a really beautiful finish. So there's no seam at the bottom, there's no like lumps where you've, joined two edges together. It's just beautiful and seamless and gorgeous. So if you are intimidated by the Judy's Magic Cast On, I am here to empower you to give it a go, because it's very easy and very satisfying. my favourite things about going to yoga is the drive. It is the most beautiful drive, especially at the moment. We're at that point in autumn where leaves are like constantly falling. That's something I need to do this week. I bought myself a leaf blower, and not only does it blow, it sucks and like mulches the leaves. So many leaves in the garden. But yeah, the drive to yoga is just so stunning. I didn't mention this in the last vlog, but last week at yoga I sobbed for at least half of the lesson. It was like next level. Like sometimes I will have a little tear during yoga. That sometimes happens towards the end, during like the bit when we're talking about like when she says, you know, oh, notice how you're feeling in the moment. Like sometimes we'll have a little tear, but there was, I don't know what it was last week, but I could feel myself wanting to cry. And then I did, then it was like the typical don't cry. And oh my goodness, honestly, I tried my hardest not to feel embarrassed, because there was nothing to feel embarrassed about. I'm in a safe place. Nobody said anything to me. I don't even know if anyone noticed. People probably did. And like by the end of it, I was picking up my top that I'd taken off and was like wiping my face down, and I was all like black makeup underneath. But I don't know what it was last week. The day after that was when I started to feel really poorly. So I'm just hoping it was just my body was just like, no, what are we doing? I don't want to do this. Because like emotionally, mentally, I was absolutely fine. And emotionally and mentally, I'm absolutely fine today. But now I am so nervous. I'm legit worried that I'm going to cry, and I'm just going to be that girl at yoga that cries all the time. I have renewed for next term. This is the last one of the term. So no yoga next week, but it starts back up again the week after. And so I've renewed for another term, just because it's weird. It's like, it's a no-brainer. It's just like a non-negotiable now. I don't have to like motivate myself to do it. It's just part of my routine, and I love it so much. I'm hoping to get to Pilates this week. I've not been able to go for the last 2 weeks because I've not been well. But I really want to go this week, because I really want to get back to a 3 workouts per week routine, whatever they may be. I'm still very much not sure what I want to do exercise wise at the moment. I don't know if I want to go gym. I don't know if I want to run, or both, or neither, or I'm just kind of letting my body tell me what it wants. But I do know that when I intentionally work out at least 3 times a week, it makes a big difference in my life in many different ways. It helps with my sleep, it helps with my emotional regulation, it helps with my mood, it helps with my eating. Just everything is better when I do that. But I've been really struggling to get back into any kind of routine exercise wise, apart from yoga on a Monday. So this is stating for sure, but I'm just trying to be gentle with myself. Like, I'm in a good place at the moment. I'm feeling like good about my body and my appearance and everything, and there's no like rush to do anything, but I do want to like get back into a routine with that. So maybe after the half term, because obviously next week is going to be, I'm going to have zero chance. No, I've got one day of childcare next week, and that's a Friday, where I'm going to have a million other things to do as well. So after half term, I think I might try and establish some kind of plan, but we will see. Anyway, it's time to go in. Wish me luck. I really hope I don't cry. No tears, not a single tear. That was a good one. That was such a lovely practice. It was quite funny because the lady on the mat next to me was wearing the same outfit as me. We were both in black leggings, red long sleeve top. It was quite funny. We even both had gold earrings on, so that like instantly put me in like quite a happy mood. But no, that was a lovely one. Beautiful practice. Right, home, shower, lunch, work. Let's go. I've got nowhere to clip my microphone. I normally clip it to a bra strap, but I'm not wearing one. And this is too high and too close to the neck. But I'm wearing a Maribling sweater. I'm just wearing cozy joggers because we were about to be sat down for 3 hours. So I'll show it you properly with jeans on later, but I did shorten the length. I took out 2 stripes worth, and it was the right decision because it sits exactly where I want it to. No extra, no tucking in, just naturally where my body starts to go out again. Now, obviously, this is a very personal thing, and you know, we make clothes to suit our own body types, but when I make my second sample, I'm going to be going a size up because I would like to see what it looks like with a little more ease and a little more length. So depending on how the grading goes, I will go up 1 or 2 sizes. I've ordered the yarn. I have ordered Knitting for Olive, merino and mohair in Bordeaux. We're going burgundy, and we're going to do a cream stripe. I really just wanted to see the opposite colours. I wanted dark background, light stripe. We're all about the burgundy at the moment. I've wanted to make a burgundy sweater for a while, so it just seemed right. But I won't be casting it on anytime soon. I'm in no rush to make that second sample. I will probably make it alongside the test knit. I'm going to wait for the grade to come back, the first edit, and then get started. To be fair, once the grade comes back, I'll probably get started then and just work on it gently throughout the test knit. Test knit's going to be a long one. This probably isn't going to make it to release until January because we'll need all of November, all of December to be knitting it. And obviously it's Christmas as well, so people are a lot busier. So it'll probably be, I mean, take everything I say with a pinch of salt. The Midland took me 2 years. Come on. But that was mainly because I was terrified of the grading, and we don't have that problem this time round. I'm aiming for like January, February release, and the test knit will be over the next few months. If you're interested in test knitting for me, all my test knits are called on Instagram. It's just what is easiest for me. And yeah, it just works. With my test knits, I do an open call. Anyone can apply, and I choose a mixture of people who have test knit for me before and brand new people. I try and make it as inclusive and diverse as possible, and lots of different people and yarn choices. And yeah, I pride myself on my test knits because when I get around to doing them, they tend to be pretty fun. They're always very relaxed. They're always very chill. I never expect everyone to finish. I'm very clear about what I expect from my testers, and that is for them to have fun and to prioritise the joy of the test knit rather than the pressure of a test knit. I'm anti-pressure test knit. Like, I get enough testers that if even half drop out, we'll still be okay. Yeah, very, very realistic. And we always have lots of fun, and I always get lots of really good feedback from my testers and people reapplying. So I think that's a good sign. So if you like to have a go at applying, make sure you're following me on Instagram and watching my stories. I try and give as much advance warning as possible because my test knits tend to get a lot of applications, and it's usually only live for 24 hours or so because I just get so many, and it gets to the point where I can't look at them all. Once we get past a couple of hundred, it becomes really impractical for me to do. So keep your eye out over there. And yeah, I'll try and keep you updated as much as possible on the test knit. But here she is. I wore her yesterday for Fabulous Girls Day and loved it, honestly. The fit is just so perfect. It just fits my body perfectly. It feels comfortable. I forget I'm wearing it. I love the yarn. I love, 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 love the yarn. It is woolly for sure. It's not merino, but I have no issue with it against my neck. To me, it's soft, and I am reasonably sensitive. So if you want a pure wool fibre, but getting a bit bored of merino, then the West Yorkshire Spinners Fleece Blue-Faced Leicester, I highly recommend giving a go. Yeah, so I need to make some food because I am starving Marvin. I need to find a way to clip you. Maybe I just do this. That's upsetting. Maybe like that. That's even worse. Do I just need to go and put a bra on? I need like a little thing. Always the fashionista. I've got my Minecraft lanyard. Perfection. Love it. Right, I am going to make porridge. Or, I should probably put all this away first. Oatmeal, as those of you in America like to say, and somebody, I briefly showed it on a recent vlog and somebody asked me what my recipe was. Now I feel like I've probably shown this at some point before, but I can't remember which video or when. So we're just going to do it now. But there's no particular recipe. I do it all by eye. Pretty much I used to weigh these things out, but I'm trying to eat very intuitively at the moment and really listen to my body and let my body decide what it needs rather than looking at numbers on an app. So I tend to just do some oats. I used to do, I think, between 30 and 40 grams. But I always find porridge looks like there's loads, but then I need more. But yeah, some oats. So next up I've got a little bit of flax seed, just for health, and just like, I don't know, tablespoon of that. We've got shelled hemp or hemp hearts, again, just a little sprinkly winkly, and again, they look, oh, they smell like paint. Oh yeah, no, I'm not having those. Oh, now I've got to dump all of it. Annoying. Okay, and then chia seeds. I tend to go with, I think it used to be like 2 grams, but just kind of like, I don't know, again, tablespoon chia seeds. Actually, let's go a little bit more. Yeah, just for health. Protein, healthy fats, omega-3s, I think. I take an omega-3 supplement because I don't eat very much fish. So that's one of the things I supplement. And then I like to do a mixture of milk and water. I find all milk kind of makes it, I don't know, I don't like it when it's all milk and I don't like it when it's all water. So I just do a bit of both. And I always put in more liquid than you'd expect. Oh, weeny pinch of salt, like not to make it salty, but to bring out flavours, because I like to have my porridge sweet. So I'd normally have my porridge with like a sliced up banana. It's like my favourite fruit to have it with, but I've already had a banana today, so I'm going to have it with raspberries, Greek yoghurt on the side, drizzle of honey, and then some kind of nut. I've got flaked almonds. Yeah, I'll probably just do flaked almonds because that's easier, and I will do a drizzle of almond butter as well. And that should create a nice rounded meal. Oh, I will also, now this is weird, crack an egg white into it once it's cooked. This is controversial and strange. Before I was adding protein powder to my porridge, and that's fine. I use a very clean protein powder that is just whey, cane sugar and vanilla beans, because normal protein powder that uses sweeteners and additives makes me bloat like mad. So I only use a clean one, but I don't particularly love the flavour or the texture of protein powder. So I'll use it in smoothies and stuff, or when I'm baking things. But in this instance, just get in an egg white, and as soon as you finish cooking the porridge, you stir it in. At first you're like, what on earth am I doing? This is so wrong. But once you get stirring it, it's fine. It goes in, it cooks the egg white. It doesn't go lumpy and eggy. You don't even taste the egg, and it just boosts the protein of an inherently lower protein meal. And yeah, it's just great. It's a great idea. I am really hungry. I'm so hungry that I don't want to wait. So I'm also going to eat a boiled egg. I think I might need a little bit more liquid in this here porridge. Oh, I'm also going to make myself a lunchtime coffee, I think. Decaf. Oh, I did a very bad job of cracking this shell. Oh dear. And I will save this yolk and add it to my scrambled eggs next time I have it. It's so orange. And then yeah, it just kind of, I know it's like absolutely mad and looks totally gross, but the residual heat of the porridge is enough to cook the egg white. There's no heat under this pan right now. It's just the heat of the porridge. And just keep it moving so you don't get any lumps. And I promise you cannot taste it at all. There you go. I swear it makes it like silky. It's almost like when you make a carbonara. Carbonara porridge. But yeah, just creamy and beautiful. Lovely. Oh no, I made a mess. Now a good hearty dollop of Greek yogurt. Just gave my raspberries a quick wash. They're a bit rubbish if I'm honest. Like they have, like some of them have like black bits on them. And I'm like, why is that? Is that mould? Is that dirt? I don't know. Most of these are suspicious.
That's suspicious.
So annoying because I really like raspberries. Runny, natural almond butter. Little drizzle of local honey. Sprinkling of almonds. These are not toasted, unfortunately, but they still do the job. And there we go. That is my mega brunch, lunch, breakfast porridge bowl of deliciousness. It needs chia seeds on the top as well. Just for colour, if anything. It's all looking very beige. Right, I'm going to smash this down and then I should have a good 2-hour work block, which is going to involve writing and knitting, but mainly knitting. Because I just want to know that the grading of that hot water bottle is correct, and then I can relax a little bit. Okay, the light is very in and out in here. Quick pre-school run check-in. Good news, my grading of the bottom of the water bottle is bang on. I went down a needle size to my colour work because colour work you tend to work tighter. I didn't do that with my Maxine hot water bottle cover, and I think because that's DK, my gauge between colour work and stockinette doesn't differ that much, but I had a feeling it would do in the fingering weight. Now my only worry now is that now I'm working on a larger circumference to my swatch, which was quite a small circumference. I think my gauge is slightly looser, so I'm wondering if I need to go down a needle size for my colour work. It's really hard to tell. It currently fits the bottle like perfectly, like all the way around, spot on. But because this is superwash, I'm a little worried that it's going to grow when I block it. But I might just steam it. Also, when you fill the hot water bottle with water, it gets a little bigger anyway, right? This is one of these moments where future Laura is going to say, Laura, you should have trusted your instincts. Go down a needle size. However, I don't think... So this is a tighter gauge, this swatch. I feel like the colour work doesn't look as neat as it does at this slightly looser gauge. It's almost like the stitches just have a little bit more room to breathe and be nice and flat. And I think my concerns over it growing as super wash on may be a little unnecessary, because that's obviously a thing when you're doing a sweater or a large scale item. This is very small and isn't going to be worn. I do have a hot water bottle cover in super wash on and it's fine. It's barely grown. So maybe I'm just overthinking it. Probably. Good afternoon. We are fresh. We are shiny. It's so hard to get it. I've got cat's eye, which is, there you go. Oh, see that? Like reflective. It's this thing where like the glitter in the polish, you use a magnet and it like pulls the glitter to the surface and you get this like cat's eye effect. Oh, I'm obsessed. Obsessed. I got these two extended slightly, just a tiny bit, just to like catch them up with the others a little bit, but not that they're so long that they're more likely to break because of that join being weaker, but it just levels everything out a little bit. Gorgeous. It's like glittery chocolate. I'm obsessed. But I need to stop saying I'm obsessed with things because it is annoying. Hello. It's Tuesday afternoon. I spent my morning editing and knitting. I've learned that doing colour work whilst editing does not make a good match. But let's quickly show you my hot water bottle cover. The actual hot water bottle itself is in my bed, so I can't put it on. But I've made quite decent progress on this. I have finished one, like the first repeat, and then I'm now on to the second repeat above it. And I'm so pleased with it. It's exactly what I envisioned. I really wanted this to look scallopy rather than zigzag, because I wanted it to be like frilly and pretty. And I think you can really see how much better it looks from the swatch, how this like single line of stitches just isn't enough, whereas this is much more impactful. And whilst we're on that note, I ordered a ball of yarn yesterday and it arrived today, and it is one single ball of Issachar boucle. Do you know what I'm going to be using this for? Yep, the lining of a headband. And I've decided I'm going to do headband version in my Woolly Thistle yarns. Because this is a collaboration with Lay Family Yarns, I want to do my mini version in Lay Family as well. So I've just ordered some dark red from Lay Family Yarns, and same yarn base, so like it's all the same, it's all consistent. And I should have some yarn left for some Christmas socks. I'd really like to do some just red and white stripy Christmas socks. That would be so fun. But yes, this is looking good. This is ready for a headband version. I'm also tempted to do the headband version in DK, maybe, I don't know. But then it would be thick. Yeah, then it would be a little thicker, because I feel like this is lovely, but it's not quite, I don't know. I feel like it could be thicker. Who knows? We'll find out. I'll do that at some point. But I've also got something else to discuss with you, because last night I had a little swatch party, and young Penelope is very happy because she has 3 new dolly blankets. That's what happens to my swatches. They all get used for Penny's toys because she just loves to make them beds. She just loves putting her toys to bed, and she's got lots of like little toys, little kitties and things like that. So she now has 3 white, sparkly, fluffy blankets. And aren't they just so pretty? And yes, they all look the same, but they are indeed very different. So I decided last night that my fluffy white Christmas sweater that I've been thinking about is going to be the Juno sweater by the Knit Pearl Girl. Lovely Sophie. I've never done one of her adult patterns before, and I'm really, really excited to. And I chose the Juno sweater because generously it's actually 2 patterns. When you buy it, you get 2 different files. You get a DK weight version and a chunky weight version. And so I thought I'm just going to swatch different combos, different needle sizes until I get a fabric that I like, and then see which of those 2 versions of the pattern I'm closest to. And I went through a few different phases. I started with just the Rico Essentials Glamorous Glitter mohair. You can't really see the glitter, it's really hard to show it IRL, but it's like a white fluffy mohair wool silk blend with silver glitter in it. I did 1 strand of this with 1 strand of Woolcott Opus, which I've had in stash for ages, and I've just been waiting for the perfect pattern design, and I think this is the one. So I held these 2 together to start with. This is a sport weight, and this is also, I would say, sport weight. It's not quite fingering weight. It's not, I don't know. It's lace weight, but it recommends 4 to 4.5 millimeter needles, but it's so versatile. You could do it in so many different ways, but I thought these together might be good for a 6 millimeter needle gauge, which is what the chunky version of the Juno recommends. But I was nowhere near gauge and I didn't really like the fabric. It was too loose. The stitches, even though it's blocked, they look a little messy. You've got a couple that are a bit looser, and just that thinner yarn on the bigger needle just didn't flow through my hands very nicely. So then I thought, well, to meet the gauge of the chunky with that combo, I would have needed to have gone up at least one needle size, and I didn't want to do 7mm. So I thought, I'm going to try this combo on 5mm because maybe I'll be closer to the DK weight gauge. If I have to go up needle sizes to match Sophie's gauge, then maybe I'll achieve it in the DK. So that's what I did next, and I got a lovely fabric. The stitches are much neater, really beautiful, but I was still very far off gauge. I was basically smack bang between the middle, so I wasn't close enough to the DK or to the chunky really. So then I thought, well, if I feel like I want to do the chunky more because it's quicker, it's very different to everything else I'm doing at the moment, why don't I try and make my yarn thicker, because then that should make my stitches larger. So I went for the 2 originals and a strand of Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in cream, which I've got loads of in stash. So all I've had to buy for this project is the glitter, and it makes me feel good to be using stash. And I tried that on 6mm needles, and I got this, which is again another white fluffy swatch, and you can see the stitches are just much more uniform and neat. And I got 15 stitches, so I'm 1 stitch off the 14 stitch gauge aim. So I've done a little bit of maths. I looked at the size that was recommended for me, and it says the pattern suggests between 4 and 8 inches of positive ease, and knitting the size recommended for me at my gauge would give me a bust circumference of 4 inches of positive ease, which is perfect. It's still within the recommended range, but at the lower end, and that's what I want. I don't want huge amounts of positive ease because I want this jumper to be reasonably formal. I don't want it to be too cash, and that's another reason I chose the Juno sweater, because it's a drop shoulder, which is what I want. I want minimum fuss, very little. I just want it to be super plain, to like let the yarn be the thing, let that fluffy glittery fabric shine. So I didn't want any raglands, I didn't want any kind of fuss. But drop shoulders can be a bit casual, whereas the Juno sweater is kind of a mix between a contiguous set-in sleeve and a drop shoulder. The sleeve isn't worked as part of it. You do still pick up stitches, but you have that drastic increase along here which shapes the back and the front of the drop shoulder. I'll put in one of Sophie's pictures, but you get quite a dramatic shape on the shoulder, and when that's lying flat on the floor it looks a bit odd, but seeing pictures of it on Sophie's body, it just looks so refined and just like a drop shoulder but elevated, and it's because you're taking out a lot of the bulk from the shoulder, whereas if you just did a straight line rather than a line that follows the shape of the shoulders, there would be extra fabric there. So you're just cutting that out. The Juno also has a slip stitch detail that goes all the way down the sleeve, because you have like a stitch detail along the shoulder here, and that continues, but I think I'm going to omit that because again I just want plain, fuss free, nothing but the yarn. So that's what I'm doing, and yes, I cast it on last night at about 10:30, which is very naughty of me, but once I'd settled on my needle size and pattern, I was like, I just want to get it going, so I did. And I've got a very small amount on the needle, like this is literally it. And so you can see this seam here is where we're doing the rapid increasing. This is the back piece, these are the front pieces, so it will go like this. And next up we're going to be continuing and shaping the neckline and then casting on at the neck, and then I believe we work the front and the back separately, join at the underarm, in the round, then sleeves. So it should be a pretty simple quick knit, and that's just going to be my like chill knitting. So that's where we are. That's what I'm working on at the moment. I've not got long before I have to get the kids now, and we've got swimming this afternoon. So there's not going to be much more work being done. I'll do a little bit more editing But then tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, I've got completely free days, no appointments, no nothing. Well, tomorrow, hopefully, fingers crossed, got Pilates, but tomorrow and Thursday is going to be pattern writing, and I also need to film a video for Patreon this week, which I'm going to do either tomorrow or Thursday, depending on what mood I am in. So I'm going to continue doing some form of work, probably editing, maybe some hot water bottle cover, and I will check in with you when I've got something else to show you. I need to make some decisions about my IVT as well. We need to do that together because I don't want that to get stagnant, because if I don't keep that one going, it's going to be one that's quite difficult for me to pick up again, I think. So yeah, I need to get going on that one soon as well. There's just so many things I want to do, and I'm loving it.
Going through the motions, I'm dreaming of the ocean as I swim above a riverbed. Life is so fraudulent. Towel off my guilt as I shuffle through the silt. Draw a line in the sand, wonder where I should stand. I don't wanna.
Good morning, Huns. We have a lot to talk about. Honestly, I'm feeling like I've absolutely hit my winter productive phase, and I love it. I don't know what it. Well, I do know what it is about this time of year that just makes me feel so productive and so motivated to work. It's because I feel like I am allowed to sit on my sofa all day because it's cold and windy outside, and I just want to be cozy, and I don't want to just like sit and do nothing all day, and I don't want to just like sit and knit on random things all day. Like, I want to do stuff. So just the work vibes are strong. And this week is definitely turning out to be more of a laptop focused week, which doesn't make the best vlog, but we've also got a lot of yarny fun, and I've been wittering away on my projects. It is Wednesday morning, and there's been a couple of exciting developments this morning. I finally got in touch with my grader. I established that she could take me on as a client, but we hadn't actually started discussing the project. And I think I was a little bit scared to send the email. Like, I always have to really not listen to what's going on in my brain when it comes to doing something brand new or establishing a new relationship. But I just sent the email this morning saying, this is the project. Let me know what you need from me. Like, what's your process? How does this work? I think I still have that like residual habit of being like, you don't know what you're doing, you will get this wrong, you will embarrass yourself, people are all going to find out that you're stupid. Like, it's residual, it hangs around still a little bit, but fortunately logic is now more powerful in my brain, and most times I can choose the logic over the brain lies. So I just like went in and was like, clearly I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before, and I'm not expected to know how this works or what to do. Like, I am the student in this situation, and it's okay to be a student. It's like, not everybody knows everything, and I well and truly get stuck in the like, I should know everything, but I don't cycle. It's my first time on this planet too. That is a mantra I tell myself all the time, and I find it really comforting. So sent the email off this morning and heard back pretty quickly, and she's let me know everything that works for her, what the process is, what she needs from me. And it also sounds like super flexible. Like, obviously it's going to, each designer will work slightly differently. It's not like this one solid structure that we have to fit into. We're all different people, and clearly she's a professional at what she does, so she's able to be flexible with designers. I'm so excited. So what I need to do now is finish off my base pattern. So the one that I've written that's got all my numbers in and all my instructions, I send that off to the grader. She reads it through, does initial kind of like look through, an initial edit if I want her to, which is really nice because she's in there. If she spots a typo, she might as well correct it for me, and that will speed up tech editing at the other end because there'll be less mistakes. Even though I have a grader, it will still be professionally tech edited because you can't edit your own work. So the grading that she does and the writing that I do will then be edited by a third party, and everyone will all work together. So yes, I need to send off the base pattern, which she will then look through. She will then send me back a list of questions, just in case you were curious as to what this process is. She will then send me back a list of questions based on my base pattern. So things like if there are any specific areas I want to be a specific way, stitch pattern repeats, ease, fit, etc. Like I want X amount of ease consistently across sizes in bicep, I want X amount of ease across sizes in this area, all that kind of thing, lengths, just all that stuff. And then the grade will happen. So she has me penciled in for the first week of November, which is really exciting and very, very soon. And seeing as the kids are on half term next week, it's my mission to get this done and sent off by the end of tomorrow, because I'm not working on Friday because the kids are off. So ideally the plan is today, but I also have a Patreon video that I want to film and edit, but I have more than enough time today and tomorrow to get both of those things done. I just need to do it. I have been a little distracted this morning. I've put some rows into my hot water bottle cover just because I was so close to finishing the second repeat and I just wanted to get it done. So yeah, let's show you that. I also put quite a lot into my Juno sweater last night, and we've got things to discuss. So here's where we're at with the hot water bottle cover. I think I have a name for it. I think I'm going to call it the Winter Walk hot water bottle cover. Just like a bit of alliteration. Winter Walk. It's just been the winter hot water bottle cover so far. And maybe I'll just stick with that. The winter hot water bottle cover. Like, why not? Is that enough? Does it need to be the winter walk? What about it makes it a walk? Nothing really, other than it's nice after a walk. But I just think, yeah, maybe just the winter hot water bottle cover is enough. Do we have to have some special elaborate name? Can we not just keep it simple? It's also really hard to name hot water bottle pattern covers because you have to use the words hot water bottle cover, and that's long. I always pretty much shorten it to just HWBC when I'm like writing about it or talking about it. But as a title, the name needs to be pretty short and snappy. But again, we have done the second repeat. You can see that my snowflakes are offset. I love that in a pattern. I didn't want them just to be like stacked. And obviously the next one will be offset again. I just think it gives a really nice balance. In the end, I decided to fill this in. Initially, there was a blue stitch in the middle of this little white cross. But again, the definition just wasn't quite there. So I decided to keep it solid. So it's simple but effective, I think, and just so cozy and really, really enjoyable to work on. I'm hoping to get the colour work done in the next day or two as well. I should do, especially if I film my Patreon video, because it's a sit down talky video and I can get a lot of knitting done whilst I'm just editing myself talking, because it doesn't take that much talking, just cutting out like ums or coughs or little breaks that I take and things like that. So this will go hand in hand with the Patreon editing. And then we have my Juno sweater. Last night I joined at the neck, finished the shoulder increases and worked a little bit of the front panel, and we have some thinking to do in terms of yoke depth and sleeve circumference. Roughly did the maths last night, so I pretty much know what I'm going to do, but here's what we have so far. You can see that lovely tapered shoulder shape. And the neck hole is looking nice and big. I like a nice big neck opening. I don't want the collar to come too high up because I don't want to be getting too hot. The collar in the original pattern, it's lovely. It's like a little bit of stockinette and then a little bit of rib. I think I'm just going to do rib because, again, simplicity. But I do also really like it when it's the other way around, like a little bit of rib and then like a rolled end. But I'm not going to add the collar until, oh, we've got some black fluff in there. I'm not going to add the collar until I've like joined at the underarm, because I really want to see how it sits on the body. So I'm now working the front panel flat. So This is like the tip of the shoulder here, and now I'm working down here. So obviously my gauge is not correct, and that's the same for stitch gauge and row gauge. So I had a little look at like all the different stitch counts for the sleeves, and based on my gauge, how much ease that would give me on the arm. And basically the first 3 sizes, there's not a huge amount of difference between the circumference of the arm. So I am just going to knit until it feels right. I'm estimating between 7 and 8 inches because I don't want a huge amount of sleeve. There's quite a lot of sleeve in the original pattern, but again, I don't want to be huge on the sleeves. I don't quite know yet if I want to have like a more shaped, slim sleeve, or if I want a little bit of festive poof. I don't know. I feel like the poof, like a floaty balloon sleeve, might be a bit much with the glitter and the fluff. So I'll probably keep it simple and practical. But yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I am pretty good throughout the front. I don't love purling on larger needles, on 6mm needles. I just find it a little awkward, but it's also not the worst, and it goes pretty quickly. There's my thing. So I've got 4 inches. Excellent. So we're over, or at least halfway there. But I really enjoyed working on this last night. It's just so simple and easy. And I've already done the majority of the hard work in this beautiful shaping. And you can really see that lovely shoulder detail. Oh, it's just so gorgeous. I'm also not really getting much puckering, which is lovely. When you increase every single row, and you get this with my sibling sweater where you have a dramatic increase on the back, you can sometimes get a little bit of puckering where you've just added quite a lot of fabric in a small space. It does block out, it should block out, but I don't even really have that much puckering here, so we're doing good. Oh, good. And then one final little thing to show you. I'm fully aware that this vlog is already getting quite long and is very, very chatty, so I'm trying not to overdo it because it's only Wednesday. But I got my yarn from Knitting for Olive today for the second sample of my ribbling sweater, and how I'm going to wait until the week of November to cast this on when I get the grade back is just, I don't know. So I went for Bordeaux, which is this beautiful purpley maroon. It's definitely a little more purple than I realised. I would normally lean a little bit redder with my maroon, but I really like it. It's not so purple that I don't like it. It's definitely more maroon than it is purple, and I think it's just stunning. And then the cream I got to go with the stripe. Oh, it's like proper bright. I didn't want like a beige or like a murky colour. I wanted solid, crisp, bright white. I didn't buy mohair to go with this because I already have a lot. I'm using it in this sweater, but I'll need such a small amount for this, and it's also very easy for me to order another ball of cream mohair. So that is what we're going to be having, and I'm so excited for the second sample. Like, honestly, I think if I had graded it myself and had the numbers now, I'd be casting it on, even though I just spent last week doing 2x2 broken rib. I'm ready to go again. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to seeing it in a different fit, in a different length. But that's where we are. I'm now going to be writing, editing, filming for the rest of the day, and I've got Pilates at 2 o'clock. I booked it in this morning and I'm feeling good. I'm looking forward to it, especially with a lot of sofa computer work this week. I think it's really, really important that I make time to move my body this week, and I'm finally feeling well enough. Again, I'm going to make it nice and gentle. I could feel my yoga practice yesterday. I could feel a little bit of DOMS the next day, which was fab. Pilates always gets me quite a bit more than the yoga does because it's a little more intense, I think, especially on the core, my goodness. But yeah, not got much else to say. I am finding it very difficult to get started on this pattern. It's one of those tasks that my brain is fighting with all its might. I think because it's work I'm sending to another person, work that's important all work is important, but this feels particularly important. There's a reasonable amount of unknown. It's also not exactly exciting, like sitting and writing out instructions for working the body of a sweater. It's not that stimulating when I could be doing fun colour work or sparkly fluffiness. Also, the sun is having a wonderful time and the clouds are amazing, and I literally keep getting distracted by them. I think it's time for a cloud time lapse. About to send off the ribbling sweater to the grader. It's done. Oh my goodness. Sweater pattern writing is so much easier. When to grade it, you just go boop, bye-bye. Now, it might be trickier when I get the grading back, as it will be somebody else's work that I'm going to have to get into my brain somehow. And I've heard that it can sometimes make testing a little trickier, because if someone is unsure, obviously I've not done the grading, so I'm going to have to try and figure things out or have to go back to the grader about it. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Oh my goodness. So I absolutely locked in this afternoon. It took a little minute to get there, but that lo-fi concentration playlist is so good. It just quiets the brain, that part of my brain that tries to stop me from doing the task. It's just, yeah, it's so good. I don't know how I ever got through life without it. Well, I didn't really, did I? But I was sat on the sofa at about 1:52, and I was like, oh, it's not even 2:00 yet. I've got ages before the school run. I'll just finish this off, have some lunch, and then I suddenly remembered that I'd booked Pilates. So I had to stop literally mid-sentence, grab a quick drink, grab a banana, and literally ran out the door. Fortunately, my Pilates class is 2 minutes around the corner from me. So I got there all hot and sweaty and flustered. And I was a little bit it's kind of annoying. I was really in the flow there and was really getting on with the work. And I was a bit kind of wish I didn't have to go. But afterwards, I was so glad that I went, because all of today was spent sitting on my bum and getting that bit of movement in. It's just so good in the long term, isn't it? Health and fitness goals aside, it's just a really good idea when you're sitting still all day to get some movement in. I still get movement in. I have to walk to take my kids to and from school twice a day, but it's not a lot, really. Plus, we want to be doing extra. We want to be pushing, building, growing, getting stronger, all those lovely things. But I can't believe it. It's done. OMG, I've got that wonderful feeling. And now tomorrow, all I have to do is film my Patreon video, edit it, finish editing this video and upload it. And then we are off. We are off work for a week. I don't have any specific work planned for next week because it's half term and it's very unpredictable. I should have some time to do some things, and there's a good chance I'll get the hot water bottle pattern written up enough to edit next week. That would be great. I don't need that to be graded by a person. There's just 2 sizes and it's very, very simple and easy. That one won't even have a preliminary pattern. It will go straight to final format, which is always very satisfying. And yeah, we'll just take it easy next week, see how we feel, which is lovely. I've really enjoyed this week so far. I know it's only Wednesday, but my weeks tend to be work-wise Tuesday to Thursday anyway, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, full days of work, depending, obviously There's been a lot less of that recently just because of the phase of life I've been in, but now I'm moving into my winter productive arc. That tends to be how it is. Like life admin on a Monday and a Friday, and then work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But then, you know, I always forget that what I'm doing right now is working, filming, editing, all that kind of stuff. It's easy to forget that that's part of it all, and that not only when I'm sitting at my laptop, that's not the only work. The actual filming and the knitting classes as work as well. And yeah, it took me ages to get that mindset shift, but I'm going to stop chatting here because the video is definitely long enough, and I think we'll have one final check-in tomorrow, because I shall have some nice knitting progress to show you, and then I think we'll call it a day because we're already at an hour. Oopsie. I've never been known for my short form content. I can barely scrape together a reel these days. Okay, we need to talk about the ivy tea before I forget. Don't think I'm going to get to work on this during this vlog, but I need advice. So I realised that the width of this, the circumference, is coming up almost exactly the same as that of the ribbling sweater. Now, I am already close to the full length of the ribbling. Now, I wouldn't mind there being a little more length to this one because I am most likely going to be like tucking it in, because it's giving a similar vibe to this kind of top that I'm wearing. It's not meant to be hugely oversized, but I need to try it on to check, and I want to do that with you guys because I need to talk sleeves as well. Okay, so I've got a ball of yarn stuck in here. So I will definitely be changing the collar because it's just too tight and it's causing like rippling and pulling here, because I've just bound it off like far too tightly. And for I got this on the right way round. Yeah, for my ribbling, I ended up just hand sewing the neck down, and it's so much better. It's so much more free and open. So I still need to do that. But lengthwise, I would like to finish the rib in the brown and red stripe. I think that would be really fun. So I'm pretty sure I'm ready for that now. I'm also now kind of thinking maybe I should have gone with some like waist shaping so it was like completely like tight all the way down. I think that would have been lovely, but we're not there and we're not ripping out. So I think I am ready for the rib, and these are my absolute favorite jeans that I wear all the time. So I should be able to, I don't like to, unless it's like something completely tight, I tend not to tuck in anymore. But again, because of the ease, I don't want to go much further past this point because then it's going to start to cling to the old hips. So I think it's time for the hem. Oh my God, I've forgotten how good it is. And then sleeves wise, because obviously this pattern is a short sleeve t-shirt, so there isn't any guidance on decreasing in arms and stuff. The armhole isn't particularly deep. It will be reasonably tight to the arm. And I think in this case, I am going to decrease the sleeves so that they are fitted all the way down, very much like this, rather than my ribbling, which is a loose fit, like no decreases all the way down the arm, which I love. It's perfect for that. But I think this, because it's so thin, having wide sleeves might be a little odd. They might be a little bit flimsy and floaty. I think shaping is more appropriate in this case. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to get this back on the needles. So yeah, what do you think? Definitely need to sort this collar out. It just needs to be more open, but yeah, we'll see. I feel like Dennis the Menace. I feel like a baddie. The beauty, the beauty. Can I purl and talk at the same time? That is the question. I think I can. It's Thursday afternoon. We need to round this video up because it's very long. I have been the most productive woman on the planet this morning. Honestly, winter productivity has hit. I think I might be slightly manic. Just having a bit of a high energy phase at the moment, and they come and go, so I'm just making the most of it. But I've got so much done today. I didn't sit down to eat until 12:15. That's how on it I've been. Apologies for the weird light. I'll try and sort it out in edit. But I dropped the kids off at school this morning, nipped to the bakery for some bread and a coffee, and the moment I walked through that front door, I went straight into my office. I didn't even go upstairs. I sat down and I tidied up my office for a start, and then I filmed my Patreon video, and it was great fun, and it's really got my mind going. I'm doing a Froggle Finish video over on Patreon, basically going through all my current whips and what I'm going to do with them. And I have since found out that you can like sell a Patreon post, so I can make that post available for you to watch for like a small amount. If you don't want to sign up to be a patron, but you do just want to see that video, I can do that. So I might try that out with that video, because I think it's quite a good one for that kind of thing, because you might be interested in seeing that, but you might not want to subscribe to Patreon permanently. The lighting, my goodness, this is going to be fun to edit. But I did that this morning and really enjoyed it. It was great fun. And then I did a job that I have been putting off for weeks and weeks and weeks. I had 2 months worth of Patreon prizes that I had to ship out. They're all going to different places. So I just sat and bundled them all up. I like to do like a little thank you, little handwritten note, and some little extra goodies. I'll always put in like my favourite tea and a few of the little trinkets with the prize, and package them all up, do it all online rather than in the post office. It's so much easier, and then just nip up the road and drop them off. And I've been meaning to do that for ages, and it feels so good to have that done. I then went out and did the food shop. I basically kind of got my normal Friday motivation today. It feels like a Friday because the kids aren't at school tomorrow. So I did the weekend food shop and kind of topped up on all like our snacks and everything, because I now have to feed my children like 3 meals a day rather than 2. How rude, because they're not at school to have their meals. And yeah, just life admin for a couple of hours, and I haven't yet edited my Patreon video, but there's no rush on that. It will probably go up. It'll go up when it's ready, sometime in the next couple of days. I'm all up to date on this edit, and I'm just sat here doing a little bit of knitting on my Juno. I didn't do a huge amount on it last night. I was pretty tired yesterday. Pilates absolutely ruined me. I always forget how much more intense it is than yoga, and like the next day I can feel it in my core. And we did a lot on the old hip flexors yesterday, which I really struggle with. So I'm gonna have a nice rest today. Probably won't do anything tomorrow, and then maybe go to the gym on Saturday, who knows. But let's get to the end of this row, and then we can show you where we're at. I'm on the back panel, I've done the front panel, and I'm pretty sure I'm at the right length. I'm currently at about 7 inches. But I'm going to, before I join at the underarm, I'm going to steam block it, because I've got a feeling this fabric is going to grow quite significantly. And again, I'm kind of not winging it. I'm making educated decisions, but I'm slightly off pattern because my gauge is so different. I'm just going with what works for me, I think, but still absolutely loving it. I realised yesterday that the majority of my Knitting for Olive cream mohair is, I used it in my Augustine's number 4, which I have since ripped out, and it was held together with another strand of yarn, which I just wound into a ball, and I'm not going through and separating those 2 strands, no chance. So I've had to order some more cream, but it's a kind of mohair that I use pretty regularly anyway. So yeah, I was hoping to have added the collar and to finish like showing you front back collar, but that's just not happened because I've been a busy bee. I finished off my productive morning with finally booking a very exciting trip that me and Mr. Penrose are going on at the end of November. I can't say what it is because it's all a complete surprise for him, but I can tell you right now, it's going to be amazing. And I'm going to bring you guys along with me. Like, I can't not document this. And will that technically make it a work trip? I need to ask my accountant about that. I suppose if I'm vlogging it, which is, you know, my job and how I earn money, then yeah, it's technically a work trip, right? Who knows? But I'm gonna stop chatting here because this has been a super long video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little bit different this week, wasn't it? It was a little bit more like what we get up to. Next week, as I mentioned, is half term. I am gonna do some kind of video. Don't really know what yet. Some kind of vlog. Probably be a little bit more lively, a little bit less knitty. But with that, I need to say goodbye because otherwise I will just sit here and chat for another hour. And I need to export this video and get it all done because then my work is done for the week and I can take a little bit of time off, which will be nice. So thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed. Please feel free to leave a comment or subscribe if you're new. If you want to check out my Patreon and everything, it's always linked below. I try and make my Patreon really affordable and like high value for money, and it's a lovely community over there, so I encourage you to give it a try. But I will see you guys all next week. I hope you have a fabulous weekend or week whenever you're watching this. Happy October, it's nearly over, it's nearly November and I'm here for it. So yeah, stop blabbering, Laura. Bye bye.